welcome to the Get At Gaming Plus podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about anything we want to talk about, whether that is video games today specifically, TV shows, movies. I guess we are talking about TV shows. That's in this awards list. Spoilers. If you saw the title, you know what this is about. We're talking about the video game awards today. But I'm Alex.
I'm Ben.
And again, this is Get At Gaming Plus podcast. You can find us on most, pretty much every podcast service everywhere. If you search for Get At Gaming, you can also find us on YouTube.com/Get At Gaming. You can find us on the place formerly known as Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Threads. We exist everywhere. Do we post everywhere? Sometimes, but we exist everywhere. So if you want to talk to us, collab with us or anything, we're really trying to look into stuff for the future. So if you're interested in any of being on the show, doing anything fun for the show, hit us up and any of our socials, or as well as our email. I forget if that's public in some places. It might be in some places, other places not. Or you can just hit us up in the DMs and then we'll send you the email essentially. But yeah, today's a weird one. Today we are talking about the Game Awards. So the Video Game Awards. This is a thing that's existed for quite a while. Previously, it was the Spike Video Game Awards, I want to say. And after Spike kind of was done with it, then it became just the Video Game Awards, and Jeff Keighley took over. And this has been going for quite a few years.
Yeah, this is. I think it didn't do better until Jeff Keighley took over.
Yeah, I want to say,
to be completely honest,
this is like the 8th year, maybe 7th year. I forget. It's been a hot minute. Obviously with the world ending in 2020 and all of that, like, time is weird. So I there's 3 years of my life where I'm just like, what happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna basically just go through the list here, bottom up, because the top one is the one that we care about the most. But yeah, we'll just talk about what we think is going to win, as well as what we personally think should win. Some of these might go pretty quick just because some of these are things that we just don't follow. I almost said things we don't care about. That's not necessarily true.
That's not true.
But there are things that we don't really follow or don't have any knowledge of. So we might not even guess for those unless we know people there. But let's go ahead and just get right into it. Let me go ahead and find my screen. Woo. So for audio listeners, I have it pulled up. You can find these lists at the Game Awards website. I don't remember what that website is. thegameawards.com. And it's in the nominees, but like I said, we're going from the bottom up. So that's just the easiest way to work through this. So the first thing that we're talking about here is Best Esports Event. So this is recognizing an event across single or multiple days that delivered a best of class experience for participants and the broadcast audience. So 2023 League of Legends World Championship, Blast.tv Paris Major 2023. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Evo 2023, International Dota 2 Championships 2023, and Valorant Championships 2023. There's only 2 of these I actually know about, which is the Worlds, League of Legends, and Evo. I don't know what's going to win, to be honest, just because League of Legends is very... People who are voting in this category in particular are probably going to vote for League of Legends, especially because a lot of this esports stuff is around League of Legends or a shooter. But I feel like League of Legends is like the very first, not the very first esport, but like pretty prevalent there in the beginning of esports existing and being called that.
Yeah.
So I would say probably League of Legends. My personal vote, I don't care for this.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Evo is Evo. Evo is always really cool, but because it's just fighting games. But yeah, I don't really care about any of these.
I mean, I would, to be honest, I would probably say my personal thought, I would love to see Evo win. And I feel like these are the same ones from last year. Usually it's the same ones. And
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure League of Legends won last year. It's probably going to win again. I'll be completely honest.
yeah. Man, I could have just signed in and we could have just voted on here, but
I
that's
mean,
thinking
I'm
too much.
signed in, but I'm almost afraid to do it because anytime that I mess with stuff while I'm trying to do this,
Yeah,
something happens. So I'm like,
some
I'll just
sound
vote
effect
later.
is gonna happen, and yeah.
Yeah.
All right, best esports coach. The esports coach judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2023. Um, let's see if I know any of these people. Christine Potter Chi, Danny Zonic Sorensen, Jordan Gunba Graham, Remy Skz Quanium, and Yoon Homie Sung Young. So these, oh, that's kind of, oh no, I guess two of them are from Counter Strike. Yeah, they're just from different teams, like Evil Geniuses, Falcons, Florida Mayhem, Team Vitality, and JD Gaming, um, League of Legends, Counter Strike, Overwatch, Valorant.
Yeah.
This is something that I don't have any knowledge in, so I'm not gonna vote at all. I don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah. I don't know either, to be honest.
I would say this is just my guessing for these types of events and stuff. I would say it probably be either League of Legends or Valorant. So I'm leaning towards this JD Gaming person, but again, I don't really know at all. Um,
It's a hard one because I would honestly say Counter Strike. So and I can't personally vote of who I think would. I'm just thinking who like would maybe win because I had no idea that Counter Strike had such a huge following.
yeah, it
So
has forever.
yeah, and I feel like that there, but you're probably right. It's probably going to be. I would I would think League of Legends maybe, to be honest,
Yeah, because
just because it's League of Legends.
I don't know who. I don't know who cares about. I mean, people care about Overwatch, but because Overwatch 2 happened and there's a lot of flack for that, I don't know how invested people are in watching pro Overwatch. So that's why I'm going. Wow, we're talking about this thing a lot. I'm just gonna go on by. Here are more people I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I know none of them.
best esports team, recognize a specific esports team, not the full organization. Judge the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2023. So Evil Geniuses for Valorant, Fnatic for Valorant, Gaming Gladiators for Dota 2, JD Gaming again for League of Legends, Team Vitality again for Counter Strike. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you because I just I think we talked about this before. The esports thing, I'll watch like Halo competitions sometimes on Twitch. I'll watch some Evo stuff, but I don't have like that favorite person. Like I don't follow it enough to. I personally don't follow it enough to give like that. Oh, this is what I think.
Yeah, same here. And along with this, like these are a lot of games that are team based, so that's why there's a team specific category. We're probably gonna get into the best person here in a second, but yeah, I just don't follow these games enough to really even make an educated guess for the team. So yeah, best esports athlete.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
hey, I know this name, Faker. Um, Lee Faker, Song Hyuk, Matthew Ziwoo, Herbo, CS for Counter Strike Go, um, Max Demon One, Maznov, Paco Hydra, Rusi Wise for Call of Duty. So there's a Call of Duty person here. Parker Ruler, Jehook, Philip Imperial Hal, Dozen for Apex. Oh wow, this is the first Apex one person in here compared to the other stuff. But yeah, this is for best esports athlete. Esport athlete judged to be the most outstanding for performance and conduct in 2023, irrespective of game. This is another one where like I can't even make an educated guess again because they're all from everywhere, and depending on how massive these groups are, I just don't know who would be the most popular
Yeah,
per
again,
server.
like I watch esports sometimes, but I don't follow it enough to have my favorite, you know?
Yeah. Yep. All right. So this is best esports game. We're almost out of esports. For the game that has delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, uh, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre or platform. Counter Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant. I didn't realize people were still playing PUBG. I don't remember who won last year. It's probably
I
League of
think
Legends.
it was probably I think it was League of Legends last year.
Yeah,
And that's probably who's gonna win again this year. I mean,
probably. Like I don't know. There's a lot of Counter Strike people on here, but they're not talking about Counter Strike 2. They're talking about Counter Strike Go. Um,
yeah.
so I really don't know. But yeah, probably League of Legends, but I really couldn't tell you. Content creator of the year for a streamer or content creator who has made an impact and positive impact on the community in 2023. Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, and Sphere, I guess. Um, People Make Games sounds familiar. I don't know who they are.
So them I'm pretty sure I've heard of them before. Um, but in this list here, that's the only person I've heard of. Um, um, People that I would watch are not on here. But of course, I know Alex has seen my list. Almost everyone on there, except for Alex and maybe one other person, all plays like old games, you know? So um, I do watch Halo, but yeah, I wouldn't even know most of these here.
Well,
The people make games is no one.
I'm also curious like what platform these people are as well. Like I understand like it's not doesn't really matter, but I'm just curious like are these all Twitch people? Like I know Iron Mouse I'm pretty sure is mostly Twitch. But the others like I really do not know. I don't know enough about any of them. I'm gonna say Iron Mouse wins because Iron Mouse is a VTuber and Iron Mouse is pretty popular as far as the VTuber community goes. So
Yeah.
she might win. So now here we are. This is a dumb category. A lot of these categories are dumb.
It's weird. It's super weird because I feel like I don't know. I'll let you read the list first, but I'll have my comment after.
Yeah, so this is most anticipated game, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. What? Okay. I don't think that's necessarily true for some of these. So it's just popularity contest. What do you want to see? So yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, which is a game I completely forgot about, and Tekken 8.
I think it's not fair, this category, because to be completely honest, the one that's probably going to win is Final Fantasy Rebirth.
See, I don't think so.
Do you think it'd be like Hades
Yeah.
or I mean, I would love Star Wars Outlaw because I am very much anticipating that game. to have an open world Star Wars in that universe. But I don't know, man. I just my personal pick would be Star Wars Outlaw. My thing that I think would be winning is Final Fantasy. But you know,
So my personal pick is is probably Final Fantasy. The thing that I actually think is going to win is probably Hades too, because that speaks to more people. People really, really liked Hades, and a lot of people who wouldn't play these other games um, would get into Hades instead. I
yeah,
think I think Tekken's a little too niche in its sense as like it's a fighting game here. Um, Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy, but even then, um, like Final Fantasy and Like a Dragon, they're both RPGs. Whereas I don't know, I feel like Hades, like people we haven't really seen much of that. So I think it's more anticipated because there's more mystery around it versus Final Fantasy Rebirth, where we know enough about it. Infinite Wealth, we keep seeing a ton of stuff about it. Outlaws, we saw like one trailer, but I just don't think people care about Star Wars games until they come out. um, and even then, like as we'll see on this list, like there isn't much for Star Wars. Was it Jedi Survivor?
yeah.
Like that's not much on these, so yeah, I think Hades 2 is gonna win. So best adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. All right, well, bec- because oh wait, let me read them off first. Did I even read them off the last time? I think I did, kind of. Okay, so Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, the movie, The Last of Us HBO show, Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal, the show from Peacock that no one watched. Okay, so now I've said this stuff. It depends. So if the votes, because these votes come from like reviewers and they come from like certain groups, I think it's going to be The Last of Us that wins this. If this came from everyone, I think the Mario Brothers movie will win.
No, I totally agree with you. So I haven't watched Castlevania yet, but I did watch some of the Twisted Metal, and it was like I don't know. I mean, I also watched the Halo show, so it, it was like it was trying to be funny, and then it was just weird. But Last of Us was great. Super Mario Brothers was great, but I think you're right. I think I'm going to go with the exact same thing you said. I think Last of Us is going to win, but if the people were choosing, I would think it'd be Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, and my personal pick is Last of Us out of the two, out of all of these
Yeah,
votes.
yeah, mine would be too.
Yeah, it's because I think it does what it says here in the categories where it recognize it's faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another medium. Like it's very, very faithful. Whereas the Mario Brothers movies, like it's faithful enough, but it does its own things, and it's also just a bunch of references. So like I don't know. Um, for what this specifically says, I would say it's Last of Us.
Yeah, I give you that. I mean, I'm the same way.
Okay. Hang on, I got lost. Okay. So we're on best multiplayer here. So let's see. Best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of the game genre or platform. Huh. Wait, is there not a. Oh, there's a best ongoing game thing, I think.
Yeah, there's another one as
Okay.
well. So that's probably why that this has what this has here
Okay.
is my
I was
thought.
like, where's 14 at? Because like they described massively multiplayer experiences. Okay, so Baldur's Gate 3, which is technically multiplayer, I guess. Diablo 4, Animals. That's shocking to see here. Street Fighter 6, yes, I guess, and Mario Wonder. Um, yeah, I guess. I really don't know with this. I would say for this category in particular, I think it's going to be either Diablo 4 or Mario. If this was any other category, anything that has Baldur's Gate 3 in it is probably going to win.
Yeah, yeah. What would be your personal pick though?
I can't vote on that because I haven't, like, the only one I played is Street Fighter 6. And I
Yeah,
don't really see that, like, I see that as more like a best fighter than a best multiplayer game. Um, so yeah,
I'm
and from what I've seen of Wonder, I'm not sure. So I'd probably say Diablo 4.
yeah, I agree with you on this one as well. The only one I've really played was Street Fighter 6, and I played the beta. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so I would love to see Street Fighter win, and maybe they'll win best fighting. I don't know. They're in when we get to that, we'll kind of talk about it. But I think you're exactly right. I think it's gonna be Diablo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, let's keep going here. Best sports slash racing game. Uh, yeah, I saw you drinking, and I was like, man, I could use a drink. I'm parched, but I'm not actually thirsty. Best sports slash racing game for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. That's weird that this is like a weird thing where it's a combo. So EA Sports FC 24, which is a new FIFA, I believe, since they don't call it FIFA anymore. F1 23. I always forget that they make F1 games. Forza Motorsports. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged. And the Crew Motorfest. Forza people gonna Forza. So I think it's gonna be Forza. I did see other news outlets and stuff talk about how it's very interesting how there's no Madden on here this year
Yeah,
or anything like that. Like nothing that you would normally see, like an NCAA, or not NCAA, NBA 2K basketball something or Madden this, but like yeah, I guess people have spoken. They'd rather have racing games and one sports game. Honestly, yeah.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think you're right in Forza, but I want to do like a twist. I think Hot Wheels may win. So I played a ton of the first Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's so much fun.
it is.
It's just, and like it's even crazier when you get the crazier cars. So like um Xbox gave the Game of the Year edition away.
Mm-hmm.
So I had everything. Um so I'm rolling down with a He-Man car. So this is just gonna add more of that. They go outside now. They've added bikes, they added four-wheelers. Um I think I want to say it's gonna be Forza, but how cool would it be if it was Hot Wheels too?
Kind of where
To
I'm
be
at.
completely honest.
That's definitely where I'm at. Where I feel like it's gonna be Forza, but out of all these other things, the thing that could dethrone Forza is the Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Um, just because of how more like accessible this is compared to the others. But who knows? Best sim strategy. Best game focused on real time or turn based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. I hate strategy like I don't know, tactics games, and that's what this is. So the first one, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, the game that got delayed forever and then eventually came out to no fanfare because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this game came out." City Skylines 2, Company Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, which is another game where I'm like, "Oh yeah, this came out." And Pikmin 4. Uh, for the Pikmin 4 is here, but I guess I understand. Like from the definition, it is it's a weird strategy-ish game. I don't agree with it being here, but at the same time, I don't know Company Heroes is because I never played it. Thing that's probably gonna win. I think the thing that's probably gonna win is Fire Emblem Engage because Fire Emblem, and I think this is like the only category that Fire Emblem's in, and so because of that, people are going to make Fire Emblem win. What I think I actually want to win, I don't care, is the answer. I didn't play any of these. I did not play the reboot camp of Advance Wars, so I don't actually know how good that remake is compared to the DS and Game Boy Advance games and all of that. And then it also, had a lot of delays and all that, so it's kind of weird that it's allowed. And I guess it technically came out. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be Fire Emblem. Like if this was a different category, I'd probably say Pikmin 4, but Pikmin 4 just doesn't fit this category for me.
Yeah, I agree. But me personally, what I would love to see win is Advanced Wars because I do own it and I've played it, and it is really really fun. It's like a better looking version of the original. I would love to see it win, but I think you're right. I think it's going to be Fire Emblem, to be honest.
Well, how many people do you think actually played Advance Wars 1+2? Because I don't think many people got review codes. And I feel like I don't remember what the reviews were for it because I think it came out at a weird time where all these other games are out.
It just showed up. It's been out. It was out. They announced it over a year ago, and then I get it with the war in Ukraine. They decided to postpone it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, like, it was like I wish it would have come out sooner.
Yeah.
And they didn't really advertise it. Like, oh look, it's out.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. All right. So let's go to the next one here. So best family game here. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform. So Disney Illusion Island. We got Party Animals again. Got Pikmin 4 again. See, this is like a good place for that. Sonic Superstars and Mario Wonder. Um, it's nice to see that this isn't the Nintendo category as it
Yeah,
normally is. Like, there's a lot more here. Um, I don't know. That's my answer. Um, I really don't know what's going to win. I don't really know what deserves the win. I guess I know what's not going to win. I know Pikmin 4 is not going to win.
right, right. I think so. I've seen people play Disney Illusion Island, and they said it was great. Um, God, I think it would be between like Sonic and Mario. Is where I think it's going to be, because you know I can tell you just from like me having younger kids, everyone knows Sonic, everyone knows Mario.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone knows Disney, but they're going to want to play one of those games, Sonic or Mario. So uh, I would love to see Disney Illusion Island win just because it's something different and it brings us back to the old days of when Disney would do a platformer, you know? But I think it's going to be either Sonic or it's going to be Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah, I really don't know. Um I don't know. Disney Illusion Island for me is definitely one that I feel like should probably win for the best game for families, just because it's it's a good game on its own, but then it's also baby's first platformer. So I think for families, I think it's better. Sonic is Sonic, and that's a good thing. It also has multiplayer, which is I guess a good thing. I don't know how that multiplayer really works. Um, Here it's chaotic, uh, not chaotics, but it's what I've seen people play. I guess full disclosure, I haven't played any of these games yet. But what I've seen people play for Sonic Superstars, um, it gets really difficult at the end, and like I don't know if like families enjoy difficult games. So I really think it's going to be either Disney Illusion Island, which will just be a random steal, or it's probably just Mario Wonder.
Yeah, I mean, as a parent with younger kids that are just now getting into gaming, I totally hate it when it's like, "I can't do this. Can you come do this?" You know? I don't hate it, but it's just like, I don't know. So, yeah, I still would love to see Disney win, so it's not a Mario game, not a Nintendo game that wins, because Mario Wonder, I feel through as we get through these, it's gonna win something. It
Yeah.
really is. I don't think Nintendo's gonna walk away with 0 awards. That is not gonna happen.
No, definitely not. I mean, they showed like the graphic of like how many Nintendo things were nominated, how many of these were nominated, how many Capcom whatever were nominated. Um, I hate that Nintendo is like, oh, you're in here, so that means you're probably gonna win, and I hate that for these awards. But at the same time, sometimes they do just deserve it. Mario,
Yeah,
especially because of the Mario movie, that came out recently. Like I think that this game probably had more eyes on it as well, for families and all that. Again, I don't really know how the voting goes for this. I want to say most of the voting really is from those judges, specifically from those different places, and not really the personal vote. I don't think a lot of that really matters. So I would say, yeah, probably Mario Wonder is going to win. It probably deserves it. So speaking of something, I guess wonderful, wonderful. Um, so for quite a while, I been having issues with getting up in the morning. I've been having issues with I don't know. I would say just after a night of recording or whatever, you try to get up and you're just like, man, I'm exhausted. I feel bad. I need some coffee. I need some soda. I need something with caffeine to pick me up. And like that kind of works for occasionally, but then you have those crashes. You have those, those for me especially, you have those crashes where if you work from home, during your lunchtime, you can just like go to sleep. But ever since I've been drinking Magic Mind, I've had no crashes, and I've also just been feeling a lot better.
yeah, like we both kind of tried it at the same time. Um, and I'm older. I'm a lot older, so caffeine hit me differently. And so, I would do 2 coffees in the morning, then 1 in the afternoon, and then I would just hit that wall later. Or worse, I would do one of those energy drinks first thing in the morning with a coffee, still need caffeine in the afternoon, and I just didn't. I hit a wall or I crashed. I just didn't feel good. When we were doing Magic Mind, when I have one of those in the morning, I feel good all day long. And I really like also the fact that it's like all organic, everything that's in there.
Yeah, definitely. It's all natural ingredients, sourced from the best suppliers that they could find. It doesn't have any sugar. It's nut free, vegan, keto, paleo friendly. Um, So yeah, we definitely here at Get Ed Gaming do support Magic Mind fully. They've definitely had a magical experience on us. But if you go to magicmind.com/get at it, it's magicmind.com/GETATIT. You can get up to 56% off your first subscription for the next 10 days with our code gaming20, GAMING20. But you can also get up to 20% off of a one-time purchase with the code gaming20. But yeah, we definitely recommend it here. We would not recommend something that we don't believe in. here at Get At Gaming, and we've been feeling amazing, magical, since we started
Very
using it.
much.
Um, but I know we're all skeptics and everything. We definitely were in the very beginning. So like, what if we don't like it? What if we don't think that it helps us? It personally helps us. But what if you don't like it? Magic Mind has 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. If you don't like it, they'll refund you. So there definitely isn't really anything to lose here. It changed our lives, I feel, for the better. So we hope that it would change your lives as well. That's magicmind.com, magicmind.com/get at it, GETATIT. And then again, that gaming 20, GAMING 20 for 20 up to 20% off one time purchase for Magic Mind. So, yep,
Good stuff.
good stuff indeed. Alrighty, so next thing on here is the best fighting game. So let's see. For the best game designed primarily around head to head combat. I don't even know what God of Rock is. Um, God of
Uh,
Rock.
it it is $7 on GameStop. That's what it is for the PS5 version.
Okay. Man, speaking
So
of
it's a
cheap games, yeah.
it's not gonna win. um,
Yeah. Um, God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, and then we also got Street Fighter 6. Out of all these, I think Street Fighter 6 is going to win. I really do. I think it's going to
I
win, and that is my pick.
um I think it's gonna win, but I think it's gonna be a tough one between that and Mortal Kombat 1 because Mortal Kombat 1 now, and I'm not I Street Fighter looks great. It plays great. But man, Mortal Kombat looks just amazing. It feels very next gen. Um,
Yeah.
and it blew my mind that that is probably the first game in a while that I paid the full $70 for. Didn't trade anything in. I bought it straight out, $70, done. And I will probably pay the $40 for the additional characters.
So that's the thing. I didn't want to mention that. Like yes, there are additional characters for a lot of these games. I would say. Um, my reasoning. I mean, I understand that this isn't really what um the category is. I feel like Street Fighter on its own, out of the box, is a really good game, and maybe some of these others are too. But I feel like Mortal Kombat always has been what's the crazy DLC character we can get, and so I don't really
Yeah,
think that it deserves to be the best out of all of these because I feel like it really does. It really does. It needs to use the DLC characters to get you enticed to buy the game. Because I don't think a lot of people are buying the game at launch. I really think people are waiting for like the Ultimate Edition or the Gold Edition or whatever of Mortal Kombat 1 with enough of the characters, and then they'll get into it. Whereas with Street Fighter, um, they don't really do like a big version of that anymore. And also, like, there are a lot of characters in Street Fighter 6, and the online is amazing. Robot Netcode. I don't know about Mortal Kombat 1, but like from everything I've seen for Street Fighter, everything I played for Street Fighter, there's a lot of thought put into the game's lobbies, into how the game works, how to teach you. Even in the lobbies, like they have rotating games in there. Like you can play Mega Man Power Fighters or whatever that is, and you can play I forget what that Goku game is, but it's a side-scrolling um, Capcom game, I think, from a long time ago, and it's essentially Journey to the West, but it's like an old like NES game. You can play that occasionally, like on an arcade, or you can play like old Street Fighter 2 if you really want to, or new challengers or whatever. So like, there's a lot of thought and everything put into this. So like, even if you don't like Street Fighter 6, like there are still other Street Fighter games or games adjacent in the game that you can play, and that's all within this, assuming that you have some sort of online capabilities, with either PlayStation Plus, Xbox, Ultimate or whatever, or I guess PC. It's just PC, but yeah, I think Street Fighter is gonna win.
And yeah, I think you kind of changed my answer a little bit because you're right, but I think one thing Street Fighter did that kind of had me sold on it um was they brought Guile back. And Guile has not really been in a game for a while. Well, and so and I totally forgot about those parts where you could walk into the arcade and play arcade ports of like Final Fight and you could play like the whole game,
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome. So I still would love to see Mortal Kombat win, but I think you're right. I feel you on this one. So
Yeah, so it has to be in politics because I can change people's minds.
I know, right?
Speaking of changing people's minds, this is a tough one. Best RPG
Yeah,
for the best game designed with rich player character customization. What? These I don't get that. Okay. Best RPG. It's like they're saying two different genres right here. For the best game
right.
designed with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. What does that mean? Like you're just describing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, pretty much.
So do they just expect that to win? Because there isn't really much. I think we. I've seen a lot of people complain, so I'm gonna read these off. So Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Eliza P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield. So I guess yeah, they're describing two games. Starsfield, goodbye, not winning anything. Um, Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know. Um, I don't know if it's gonna win this category because it's in every other category from here on out, pretty much. So, and then also Liza P doesn't deserve to be here. It's more of an action game, I would
Yeah.
say. Um, but it's just really hurtful that they put action with turn based, because the nowadays those are two different genres. I really do like that Sea of Stars is even here to be considered. I know they like it too. They won a joystick award for best RPG, I think, recently. Um, but so I don't know what's gonna win here because here's the thing: 16 might win because it's not like future reference, I guess. Spoilers. It's not in the main category.
Right.
So 16 might be put in here. It might win as a pity. um, because a lot of people did like 16, but then there are people who complain and say that it's not an RPG. It's more of an action game. Sure, but then that means that Kingdom Hearts is not an RPG, and Kingdom Hearts is an RPG. Um, so all right, so I think we know our pick. Our pick is Sea of Stars.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
both love that. If you want to go ahead and check out our previous episode, we did a spoiler cast about Sea of Stars. The first 20 minutes or so, I want to say, is spoiler free, and then after that, yeah, you're gonna find out everything about everything. So you've been warned. But I feel like it's one of our best episodes for sure. We deep dive, we
Oh
talk
yeah.
about characters, and it's a fun time. So, and I said on Twitter and stuff multiple times. We said it in that review, that spoiler cast multiple times. That Sea of Stars personally is Get At Gaming's Game of the Year, and so this is like one of the two categories it's in. So I feel like I think as much as I love Final Fantasy 16 and everything that it does, um, I don't really think that it. I don't know, like I think Sea of Stars made me more not amused, I guess. I enjoyed Sea of Stars more than 16, but like it definitely was a close call.
I'm going to be playing 16 when we go on break, which is happening pretty soon. We'll still have episodes for you guys, don't you worry. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be Boulder's Gate. I really do. I
Yeah.
think you're gonna see a lot. I feel like this is gonna be, and this is just me personally as we go through these, I feel like it's gonna be another God of War situation where it's like God of War, God of War, God of War. I think that's gonna be Boulder's Gate. I have not played this game. It's not the type of game I would play, but I almost want to play it just to see the crazy stuff you could do
Hmm.
in the game. Is the game really that good? I don't know. Um, which is too bad because Sea of Stars really deserves to win that one, or Final Fantasy 16. I really feel. I feel like, and this is just me. I've not played the game, but what I've heard about the game, I don't hear about the gameplay. I don't hear about the way you level up or the weapons. I hear, oh my gosh, you could have sex with a bear.
Yep.
It's like that's what I hear about the game. And if the game was so good, you wouldn't be hearing that. You'd be like, oh, there's this. Hey, you could have sex with a bear, but there's this too. And I
Yeah,
feel like
I've seen
that's
some
what it
people
is.
play it, and I've seen some things for it, and like it's really just it is amazing on what you can do in the game. Like there's a lot of choices and things, and like that's what you think of when you think of like a Western RPG. You think of
Right.
Dungeons and Dragons, and I mean that's what Baldur's Gate 3 is and it's trying to be. So like I think that's why it's probably going to win because it's just in everyone who has played it is very loud and vocal about it.
Right.
So I think it's going to win because of that. But again, because it's in other things, I think 16 and Sea of Stars deserve it. But I want Sea of Stars to be the number one. But I know it's not going to be. If it did, that'd be crazy. But
Oh, it would be.
I know it's not going to be. So
Right.
all right. Best action adventure game. And here we go with the Alan Wake 2s already. For best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So let's see. Alan Wake 2, Spider Man 2, Resident Evil 4, the remake, Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. Um, I don't know, is my answer. This is also another one of those weird ones where, like, Jedi Survivor, this is like one of its only places. So I don't know if people are
Which
gonna
is
vote for it out of pity or not.
which is dumb because I feel out of these ones here, so I've never played Alan Wake. I've played Resident Evil 4 before, and I've seen videos of the new one because basically it is just a remake of the game. And then I've watched Tears of the Kingdom and Spider-Man. I would love for them to win this one because Tears of the Kingdom and Spider-Man are in different categories. But I feel what it's going to be, it's either going to be Alan Wake wins it or Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's going to be what you're going to see here. And I will admit, the video I've seen of Alan Wake 2 looks great. Um, but again, you know, I really feel it should be one of those ones. I thought Star Wars Jedi Survivor was fantastic. About
I didn't play it.
70%. I've got a copy if you want to borrow one on break. Um, I don't, it's not on my list to do.
Yeah.
But it's such a great game and it continues that story from the first one.
Yeah.
So um, the puzzles are a little harder, but there's a lot of cool things that happen. I won't spoil it for anybody. It looks great running on a PS5,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish it would win because the more of these games that are Star Wars games that do well and win, and I mean it's sold well. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be Alan Wake or Spider Man Two. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I agree. Traversal and combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. I think that really describes Tears of the Kingdom. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be Alan Wake 2 or Spider Man. I don't think Spider Man is a bad choice because I really did enjoy that game. Um, but Alan Wake 2 is the other Baldur's Gate 3 where it's like it could just take them all, whatever
yeah,
category it's in. Because one, it really does have that recency bias. Because like this game like just came out and people are loving it because of like just certain things about it. So I feel like just having it in your head is going to make this win more categories.
And I'm not saying that Spider-Man 2 is not a good game. I'm just saying for this category specifically,
Yeah,
I would like to see Star Wars win.
yeah. Although traversal and stuff like that, though, like there's the wingsuit and all that. And swinging feels better than ever. Like the game's traversal and combat is really good in Spider-Man 2 as well. But yeah. Anyway, best action game for the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Remnant 2. Where did Island 2 come from?
I don't know because I remember that game being so broken when it came out, that no one wanted to play it, like, at all. Like, no one wanted to play it. Armor Core, I could see that. Um, Me personally, I would love Hi-Fi Rush. I would love that one to be the one just from the studio it came from, and they were like, "Oh, hey, here's this new game. It's colorful, it's vibrant. I love the story. It's something different, and it really is combat focused. Like you have to get your beats down right." So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think it's either Hi-Fi Rush or Armored Core 6 for sure.
yeah,
Um I probably just want Hi-Fi Rush to win. I don't know if it's actually going to win. People seem to really like it though, but people really like Armored Core 6, but also people think it's hard, but it's from software, so it might win. I don't know. It's really a toss up between those two. I really don't know which one could win. It could be Hi-Fi Rush or Armored Core. Um, I would say Armored Core only because it's more recent. Because again, recency bias is a thing. So because Hi-Fi Rush has just been so gone out of people's out of the zeitgeist and all of that. Like it's when that come out, like late January.
hmm
So like yeah, it's no one's talking about it anymore, which is a bad thing. But like I think Armored Core 6. I talked myself into it. I think Armored Core 6 is going to win because of just Hi-Fi Rush's old game already.
yeah, it really is.
um, Best VR AR. I did not play any of these. Gran Turismo 7. Wait, excuse me. For the best game experience playable in the virtual or augmented reality, respective platform. Turismo 7. Horizon Called Mountain Humanity. Resident Evil Village VR mode and Synapse or
I never,
Synapses.
I did not play any of these games as well.
I didn't play any of these as well. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote for all these stupid, horny people are gonna say. I'm gonna say Resident Evil Village because they like the big lady.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be as well. To be honest, I was actually between that and Horizon because I know people really love that Horizon VR, but I think it's going to be one of those two.
But here's the thing: who played Horizon VR? Whereas
That
like
is,
other people can play the Resident Evil VR like on other devices and stuff like that.
I think, I think three people from, um, I, I the only time I ever hear people talk about it is literally on Kind of Funny, um, and that's it. And so, yeah, I don't have a PSVR too, so
Yeah, neither
my
do
kids
I.
have Oculus,
Yeah,
so
I'll probably never have a PSVR 2 unless the price really goes down.
oh, it's gonna
Uh,
have to really drop for me.
yeah. So, all right, the next one here is best mobile game. For the best game playable on a mobile device, we got Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. We got Butters' favorite Hello Kitty Island Adventure. We got Honkai Star Rail. We got Monster Hunter Now and Terra Neo. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a
So
Netflix.
yeah, so if you use your Netflix on a tablet or your phone,
Yeah,
there's like a whole bunch of free games.
yeah. I know they added the Dead Cells. They had Dead Cells
Yeah.
recently. Yeah, which is crazy. Um, Monster Hunter now is a Niantic game, so it's a like a Pokemon Go type thing. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm assuming it's just Hello Kitty Island Adventure, online game probably. And then Ever Crisis is good in theory, but it's just a gacha. Um, the only one out of all these I've actually played is Ever Crisis, and even then, I would say this shouldn't win. um, it's probably gonna be Star Rail because it's another one of those Genshin things where like it's amazing that it runs on a phone, and it's such good of a game that it's on PlayStation like 5 now,
Oh wow.
and it's on PC and stuff. It instead of Genshin, where it's more open world and action based with RPG quests and stuff. Honkai Star Rail is an actual turn-based RPG, where you collect people as well, for the gacha mechanics and all that. So um, it works better for a phone. Same thing with Ever Crisis, but Ever Crisis just isn't. They're just. It's very gacha heavy, and I feel like there isn't enough content in it. Whereas Star Rail, um, had a lot of content from the get go, and it's still continuing. So
Yeah.
I would say Honkai Star Rail is probably the winner.
Yeah, and I've not played any of them. So I used to play a ton on my cell phone. Not anymore. Like I have a couple on my tablet, but that's it. I really don't play a lot of games on there. So I can't really answer that question on those.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. This is the. Oh wait, no, this isn't the category. I mean, kind of. I don't know. Best debut indie game. And we get to go through semantics here in a second about indie. For the best debut game created by a new independent studio: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder. The only ones of these that I have played is a little bit of Cocoon recently, actually, because it's on Game Pass, and then I played some Viewfinder. At least I played the demo of that. Um, we're not gonna get into what is indie, what is not indie just yet because of how this works, but how this particular one
Yeah.
is. But I Cocoon's probably gonna win. Um, like it's an Annapurna game, but it's also like it's the people who I want to say it's the people who did like Inside and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
So
think you're right.
yeah, I feel like Cocoon's probably gonna win. From what I've seen of Venba, like there's a really good um, it was a stream I think. It was a kind of funny stream if I recall. But they had like the creator there, and he like kind of just like talked about. Oh, it was during like their indie showcase or whatever. The creator was there. He talked about the game, about how like it tells like a story about a family, but it tells the story through the culture and through cooking, and like it's
Yeah.
one of those games that's very narrative heavy and probably like really good for like a phone or something like that. But does have some mini game aspects for it. Um, but that's more of a games for impact thing, I would say. But I would say it's probably Cocoon. I've seen a lot of people play Pizza Tower. I've seen a lot of people say that they're playing Pizza Tower. I should say I know nothing about it. I think it is a platformer, but I've never really seen any gameplay.
Yeah. I've never so I think I know I've seen or at least knew about all of them except for Pizza Tower. I would love Dredge to win because it is such a unique, weird, dark game. But I
Mhm.
think you're right. I think it's going to be Cocoon,
Yeah,
to be honest. Annapurna games just seem to just rack them up, man.
yeah. Best independent game instead of indie game. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Cocoon, Dave the Diver, which is not an indie game. Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. You know what? Just let Sea of Stars win here. It's not gonna win Best RPG. Let's Sea of
Yeah,
Stars win.
I would love to see it win again. I think this might be Cocoon.
I think it actually might be
Um,
Dave the Diver. Not gonna lie,
you you do love Dave the Diver.
they really do. Even though it's not a, even though it's not an indie game, they're still gonna put it here because it's owned by some huge publisher or something like that, and so it makes
Yeah,
it not technically an indie game. Um, but yeah, Sabotage Studio is an indie. Obviously, they've only had 2 games, including this, the Messenger DLC, I guess technically, and Sea of Stars. So yeah, I want to say Sea of Stars. I think Sea of Stars could win potentially, but it's
yeah.
probably Cocoon or Day the Diver. Best community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness is inclusive of social media activity and game updates slash patches. Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2. All those people getting laid off. Final Fantasy 14 and No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky. I always
I
forget.
mean, No Man's Sky is that story that everyone thought was going to fail when they found out they lied. Has come out to be one of the top games. It's on every console. It's everywhere, even
And
on iPad
the
now.
price has increased too, because like it's so big now. Like if you try to
Yeah,
buy it, it's more expensive than if you like initially just like bought the disc or something.
yeah. But I
Uh,
don't know because Cyberpunk did a really good job after all of their crap. Um,
yeah,
so I don't know. I think it's between No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk, just knowing of what had happened with them. Um, and what's crazy is how is No Man's Sky still on this? Because this is not new. I mean, none of these
it's
are
still
new.
no, because I mean it's the best ongoing game. Wait, oh no, it's
Yeah,
not best ongoing game. Best community support. These games are still active, so that's
right.
why. Um, so I'm gonna go off the path here. I'm gonna say 14 is gonna win, and
Mhm.
14 is my pick as well, because they seem to really be good with the community, and they always have their little. I forget what they're called. Someone's gonna yell at me in the comments or whatever. Live letters, I think it's what they're called. They have like a bunch of like community like events or whatever that like say um, like here are all the updates. Like they're really good about transparency. They're really good about updating it. Um, and yeah, overall, I feel like 14. I mean, it's one of the best multiplayer games out there for sure. So I think it
Right.
would probably win community support. And also win another category here in just a second, which yeah, best ongoing game. It's the same category with just a little bit of different paint. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. All right. Um, as much as I hate it, I mean, I don't hate it. I think Genshin's gonna win.
Yeah, I would say it's either Genshin or Fortnite. Fortnite's done amazing. Um, I mean, how and then we talked about this before. They if you look at like the player experience and like doing new things, Fortnite does it, but I think it's gonna be Genshin.
Yeah,
For some reason, there's so many people play Genshin still.
yeah.
Not my thing. It's not my jam.
Yeah. You can also they announced something recently where you can vote in Fortnite for the Game Awards.
Did you really?
Like,
That's
yeah, there's like a map or something that you can go into, and then there's like a I don't know if he's a skin or anything, but like they showed like Fortnite Jeff Keighley with like a tux or whatever.
I mean, it's crazy. What game do you know that it's sitting in one match? You could have Goku, Iron Man, Superman, and Jack Skellington all in one round.
Yeah, I know.
It's insane. The fact that Disney allowed Jack Skellington to have an AK-47 is crazy as well.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Games for Impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social message. Wait, for a pro-social meaning or message. Space for the Unbound. Not heard of this. A lot of these I honestly haven't heard of or played. Chance of Sonar. Goodbye Volcano High. I remember that being announced forever and then eventually came
Yep.
out. I have no idea if it's good or bad, to be honest, because I don't think there are review codes or anything for anyone. Chia, I remember seeing that. I think that's the one where like she can like transform into things.
Yeah,
Um,
I played a little bit of it.
there's that Terra Nil again. I still don't know what that is, but there's two deer there, and then Venba again. Um, from what I know about what people talk about, yeah, Space for the Unbound looks like what do you call it? Looks like a VN. I'm gonna say probably Chia or Venba, just for what I hear people talking about. Um, I don't really hear anyone talk about Goodbye Volcano High, so I don't think that's gonna be here. But that's just me.
I played Chia,
Mm.
and I thought it was pretty good. It's very like I don't know. It has a really good story, and I could see how that could definitely fit in this category. So I'm thinking it might be that, to be
That was
honest.
on like PlayStation Extra for a bit, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Innovation and accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and contents to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. Um, okay. I don't know what's gonna win. Um, because I don't really remember the accessibility features for a lot of these games. I know Insomniac is really good about accessibility features, especially in the previous game that they did, which was Ratchet and Clank. Um,
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that you could do to the game to make it easier. There's a lot of things to the game where you can make it like you can slow down, like make the game's like time be like slower, so then you can have more reaction to hit things. There's a way of turning off, like obviously like you can turn off the adaptive triggers, you can map things I believe properly, you can turn off puzzles, so like you don't have to do the puzzles if you can't or if you just don't want to. um, there's a lot of things about like accessibility as far as like obviously a lot of games are doing this nowadays, but even then some are not good about it. Like font sizes and subtitles and all of that. Hi-Fi Rush I know has some accessibility things where you don't have to hit on the beat. You can kind of just hit whenever. I don't know much else in their accessibilities. Whereas Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, I know Street Fighter has like a modern mode now, which is their main thing. But as far as accessibility goes, I don't know what it actually does because Street Fighter
Right.
and Mortal Kombat are such um, multiplayer games. I don't know how well accessibility translates for those compared to a single player game.
Yeah, this one's kind of difficult. I love that they're doing this so everybody can enjoy the game. If I had to pick though, I don't know how well it does in the other games. I'm just gonna say it just from popularity. It's either gonna be Spider-Man or Diablo, just for popular.
Yeah, I really don't know what Diablo does for accessibility, but I know that it is like a PC game. So, I mean, I guess just being on a PC, being over the top, you can probably bind a lot of different keys and stuff to different things. So, or make it easier for you or whatever. So, it's probably that. But yeah, I really don't know what it's going to be. It could be anything. All right, we're getting close. Best performance awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. We got Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16 who voiced Clive. We got Cameron Monaghan from Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Man, I don't remember. Cal Kestis, that's his name.
Yep.
Idris Elba was in the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC. He was Idris Elba.
Yeah, he basically was himself.
Melanie Liburd from Alan Wake 2. I didn't play Alan Wake 2, so I don't know who Melanie is. I kind of wish they said who the character was. Neil Newbon is in Baldur's Gate 3. And Yuri Lowenthal was Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2. I'm gonna say it. I don't know, because a lot of these people are good actors and great actors. Cameron's not gonna get anything, and that's a shame. But
No.
Cameron's not going to. Neil might, because Baldur's Gate 3. Idris Elba, because he's just here, might just win.
Idris Alba.
Yeah, like
I mean, instead of picking like who do you think could win, who would be the coolest person to walk out on stage that they did win? I think it'd be Idris would be the coolest, followed by Cameron. I think Cameron would come out with a lightsaber. Um, but I don't know, man. I think it's either going to go to Final Fantasy. We talked about this earlier. It's going to go to Final Fantasy, Ben Starr, or Yuri.
Ben Starr is like so good at what he does, and he's very active with the community and fans and everyone. They were all at PAX at one point, like recently, and they all like had a panel, and he was really chill along with all the other actors and stuff. They've had a bunch of like live events and stuff. He's been on Kind of Funny Games Daily a few times, I want to say.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a really cool guy, and he does an excellent job as the main character. And so I think he definitely does deserve it. Yuri Lowenthal is Yuri Lowenthal. I've always liked Yuri Lowenthal. I think he is the best Peter Parker we have ever had as far as
I agree.
voice goes. Um, and just Insomniac's Peter Parker is really good as well. Not sure about that new face though, but yeah, Yuri Lowenthal is always excellent in everything he does, whether that is Ben 10, like where he was the teenage Ben Tennyson, or in Naruto, he's Sasuke Uchiha. Yeah, he's just a bunch of things, but he's been going on for a long time, and I think he also deserves this. But I'm gonna say the real picks are either probably Ben Starr, or Idris Elba. The people who I want are Ben Starr or Yuri Lowenthal. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one.
yeah, best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. People are gonna vote for Alan Wake 2 probably, but Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4.
I think
So
you're right.
3 horror games, a rhythm game, and just atmosphere of New York. Um,
Yeah, I think you think you're right. It's gonna be Alan Week 2.
Alan Wake 2 in specifically, I've seen it, but like there's a lot of creepy audio design things, or like there's like I don't know if it's licensed music, but there's essentially like, without spoiling it, because I don't really have context to, there's like something where like some actual like a rock concert or like some music actually plays. Um and I know people go crazy over that.
Oh yeah,
So they might like it for that. They might like it for the spooks and all that. Dead Space is Dead Space. It's a remake of the old one. It has a lot of that, horror ambiance and all that, but I don't think it necessarily deserves it. Same thing with Resident Evil 4. I would say probably Hi-Fi Rush, or
yeah.
Alan Wake 2. It's probably Alan Wake 2.
I can see that. Yeah,
Best score and music. For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. So Alan Wake 2, the composer Petri Alanko. Baldur's Gate 3, composer Borislav Slavov. Final Fantasy 16, composer Masayoshi Soken. Hi-Fi Rush audio director Suichi Kobori, and then Tears of the Kingdom, composed by Nintendo Sound Team. Just the boring name.
Just them.
Yeah. Um. So this is interesting. I don't know. I think it's probably. I think it's gonna be 16. And I want 16 to win. But Zelda's here, and so I think people
Yeah.
might vote for Zelda, even though I don't think it deserves it.
Yeah, I think it's going to either be Zelda or Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
And now I haven't played Final Fantasy 16 or Zelda, but I've watched both of them. I've watched you play Final Fantasy 16. So I think it's going to be one of those two, which again, I feel like poor Hi-Fi Rush. I feel like it's like it was a great game. And I feel like it's just like in these categories, and it's like, oh, but you're not as good as these ones.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of sucks when you get like, you know, 4 or 5 titles in one. So
Mm-hmm. I would say again, if Hi-Fi Rush came out earlier, or Hi-Fi Rush came out recently, I think
yeah,
it would be doing better in these and probably would be in more lists.
I agree.
Best, although it is in a lot of lists. Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Mario Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's Wonder or Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're looking at the full art in this one here, I almost hope that Super Mario Brothers Wonder wins. Everything I've seen about it, just like the different switching and like the day and night and the crazy stuff they do there. But in Alan Wake, watching that trailer, seeing and the gameplay, just seeing like that, it's definitely hard. And this is no way knocking the other games, but those two in this category, I probably have some of the best. Zelda is more Zelda.
Yeah, um, agreed. And yeah, I think Wonder will probably win. There are people who say it's just Mario and Mario looks like Mario. Look at this game and look at New Super Mario Bros. They look completely different from each other. They are not the same game. They might be the same type of game as far as platformers go and so as Mario goes,
Right.
but like from art style, like no, they look completely different. This looks more Wonder looks more like Yoshi's Island compared to like a New Super Mario Bros. U or whatever. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative game development in a game: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2. All right, so I think it's the top two. I don't know who it's gonna
Oh yeah.
be. It's probably Baldur's Gate 3. I would say Baldur's Gate 3 because storytelling and narrative development is what Baldur's Gate 3 is. It's all about decisions. It's all about making said decisions and seeing where those throw you in the story.
I agree. I agree. And this whole time has been difficult because I know who I personally would love to see win, but again, you know, I'm gonna vote, and I'm gonna probably vote for the ones that I've already picked. Um, I'm probably not gonna vote for Baldur's Gate because I've just never played it. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. If you look at what that game is, yeah,
Yeah. Um, I don't know what I would personally vote for. I know a lot of people like Phantom Liberty. I know a lot of people obviously like Alan Wake. 16 is weird to me. 16 has a really, really weird story, and I don't know if it necessarily deserves to be in this best narrative.
right.
If anything, maybe Spider-Man does, but they're kind of the same to me because like I don't play Spider-Man necessarily. That narrative was okay, but like a lot of like the side story narrative things were the things I cared about more in Spider-Man 2. So I don't know. It's really a toss-up for me. All right, we're almost there. Best game direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in the game direction and design. Um, so it's basically art direction, but not really.
Basically, yeah.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Wonder, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. It's gonna be Baldur's Gate 3.
I think it's gonna be either Baldur's Gate or Mario, to be honest. I
Yeah,
mean, I think Mario Wonder could come out with some surprises for this. Um, and I've said it on the podcast before, like I'll probably play Baldur's Gate at some point. Right now, it's not on my radar to play, but Mario Wonder is definitely on my radar
yeah.
to play.
I'll be playing Mario Wonder eventually here, but yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. You can put it here. You can timestamp it or whatever. I'm never gonna play that game.
Yeah,
I'm just not. Like it's not interesting to me. It doesn't look interesting for me. Um, yeah, I'm just never gonna touch it. And sorry, I guess I don't know. I've had people like confused and concerned. They're like, "Oh, Baldur's Gate 3." I'm like, I'm not playing it." And they're like, "What? You're not?" It's like, "What do you mean? Why do I don't know? It's like the weird like tangent here. It's like I don't know, people who are upset that you don't like their favorite show. It's like, how can you not
yeah.
like this show? It's amazing. It's like, sure, you might like it, but I don't like it because it's not for me. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I get all the time people are like, since that character from Friends passed away. Oh, I'm watching Friends again. Have you started watching it again? I'm like, no, I don't like Friends. And it's like I'm the bad guy because they're like, you just have no sense of humor. I'm like, yeah, but look what I watched. I watched Seinfeld. I watched The Office. Um, Abbott Elementary. Like I watch all these different shows. That comedy and Friends is not my comedy. Um, and for Boulder's Gate, like just to kind of say it, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. If he's listening, I'm sorry, I won't say your name. But we were talking, he's like, well, Boulder's Gate is like probably equivalent to God of War last year. And I'm like, that's not even in the same category of that. If Baldur's Gate and God of War came out at the same time, I think it'd be God of War.
I think it would be
You know,
Baldur's Gate still.
I don't know. It'd be a tough one, man. Because if you look at story and stuff like that, again, you can't have sex with wolves or any other animals in God of War, but you sure as hell can have it with Baldur's Gate. I think it's like a niche thing. It's like
It definitely is.
Diablo with niche, but
Definitely is. Really quick about Matthew Perry because apparently we're talking about Matthew Perry. Yeah, I agree. I've watched all of Friends for some reason, and it's very okay. I don't think it's the greatest thing ever.
right.
If you want a good Matthew Perry thing, go watch 1997's Fools Rush In. That's a movie I've seen too many times.
Is Selma Hayek in that?
I think so.
Oh my gosh, that's like a young Selma Hayek too.
Yep. I
Oh
only know
my
that
god.
movie because my mom always was watching it, and I'm like, and then I eventually started watching it too. I'm like, this is a good movie. It's like While You're Sleeping with Sandra Bullock, where I'm like, man, I guess kept watching that movie because it's always on in my house, and eventually I was like, you know what, I do like this movie. I
I
like this
mean,
movie a lot.
I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed him in A Whole Nine Yards. Not the second one, the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was great. Side tangent over.
Here's the last one here. It's good that we had a tangent right now, I guess. Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Why Am I Here? Super Mario Brothers Wonder, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Um, Baldur's Gate
I
3 or Alan Wake 2 wins.
I feel like there could be an upset here with Zelda, but I could be wrong. I feel what you're saying on the one. I feel like either Marvel, Spider Man, or Zelda could take one of these categories that we thought Alan Wake or Baldur's Gate was going to take.
Yeah, I agree on that. And then they would just save it for Game of the Year.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people who are going to vote for Tears of the Kingdom are voting for Baldur's Gate 3 instead, since it seems like a lot of the same crowd.
Yeah.
So it's either Alan Wake versus Baldur's Gate. Out of these, or Wonder could randomly show up.
Oh yeah,
Out of these, I would say I've been saying this for a while. I think it's gonna be Alan Wake 2. I think it just is. I think that recency bias is really
yeah,
gonna get it in there. For what I want to win, I don't know. I don't think Tears of the Kingdom deserves it. I never finished that game. That says
right.
anything. I finished the other game pretty fast. Um, I want 16 to be in here, and then I'd probably vote for 16 because I think 16 is a better game than Spider-Man 2. But if Sea of Stars here, Sea of Stars would beat them all for me. So for me, out of this list, I would personally vote for Spider-Man 2 um, because I think it's better than the other games here that I've played before. But
I,
I
I
understand
get
that
that
Alan Wake 2 is going to win probably.
probably.
So,
Yeah, I mean, and but what we're really watching for anyway on the Game Awards, and everyone knows this, is like what announcements, what trailers, what happens during the show. That's what we watch for. And it's cool to see our favorite things win, but we don't know. Let's wait
yeah.
and see. It's in December. We'll be
Yep,
on
yep.
vacation.
December 7th, I think.
Yeah, it's like a
So,
Thursday, isn't it? It's not like a weekend.
no, it's never on the weekend. It's always like a Wednesday or a Thursday. Um, yeah, it's a Thursday, December 7th. Um, which is, yeah, just in a couple weeks here. So, yeah, that was the Game of the Year, or that was the Game Awards nominees. If you like that, thanks for being here this whole time, because that's a long episode for you to be here for. Not that long. I thought it was longer.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find us on all podcast services at Get A Gaming. You can look for us there. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find us on pretty much all the socials you can look for. We're probably there. Are we posting? Maybe, but we're there, so you can go bug us if you really want to. We will, as Ben said earlier, we'll be having episodes coming out during the holiday season. Those episodes are going to be bi-weekly. So we're back to that format here. And so, yeah, from here on out, it will just be bi-weekly unless we need to change some things up again. But yeah, I don't really have much to say. Do you have anything else to say to the lovely audience?
Get at it.
Get at it.